Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky again with my plans and pans. Well, this week saw the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, which begins September 15th and ends October 15th. And it really is a time for celebration of the way that our American culture has incorporated now the so many differences because of the Hispanic culture that has changed us in so many wonderful ways. We have the effect on the arts and science, and of course, many that are serving in the military, fighting for the United States of America. And so we are in many ways a different country than I remember as we were growing up, and it's for the better. Because immigration from south of the border and from all over the world really has transformed our country. And so this is the week when we can celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. But we also need to understand that there have been some serious problems as well. As most communities of color, we've seen a disparate effect on the Latino community when it comes to the effect of the coronavirus. More than whites, African Americans and Latinos become victims of the virus. We're also, unfortunately, seeing more hate crimes, like the shootings we saw last year in El Paso. We are also seeing a continuation of the racism that we see from the top in this country when it comes to immigration reform. We need to have comprehensive immigration reform that will provide a path to citizenship from so many people who have come to us, again, from the south of the border and from around the world. I will never give up on fighting for that. This week, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in the Senate once again has refused to do anything to alleviate the pain that so many Americans are feeling right now from so many different sources. Let's start with the virus itself. We are again running out of the PPE, the personal protective gear that our frontline workers need, money that the hospitals need, the money that we need for testing. He doesn't want to spend any of that money. It's also about the unemployment insurance. People who are, as my constituent service people who are answering the phone in my office tell me, it's desperate. I may be talking to some of you who are feeling that. I want to tell you, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, said we are not leaving until we get some relief. It is completely irresponsible not to save people who right now are trying to figure out where the next meal is going to come to. The Republicans have put up no money, zero money for nutrition, zero money for state and local governments who, if they got the money, would be able to spend it on things like education, on first responders, on all the kinds of things that our communities need to keep going. And so we are going to fight like hell until we get some kind of relief for the people who are calling our office. As I've told you before, this is at a time when we answer the phone and adults are weeping into that phone, telling about the pain that they are experiencing. This is the richest country in the world. There is absolutely no excuse for this, and we are not going to quit fighting. So it's been a really troubling week once again in terms of the White House and its agencies. Particularly this week, it was the Department of Health and Human Services, where the HHS press secretary, Michael Caputo, was altering scientific reports so that they would undermine the Trump message, which always is, of course, this pandemic is about to end, everything is going fine. But now he has this conspiracy. He had this conspiracy theory, and he went on Facebook and he was announcing things like that there are people within the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, who want to, quote, keep America sick until after the November election. He called it sedition. And he also said at one point that if you have a gun, be sure and go out and get ammunition. Well, I guess the good news in the sense is that he is now on medical leave, clearly needs medical leave. But the very idea that someone without any real credentials would override the scientists at the Department of Health and Human Services, how does that happen? It's never happened really in the history of our country. We've had professionals, career people, scientists who work in those agencies. So thank goodness, he is gone. Well, here comes my nag once again. It's about the census. So I was hoping that a court was going to overturn the idea that the president wanted that the census taking would end September 30th. So far it hasn't. And so we have a very short time, and I'm going to say once again, we're still way behind. Everybody needs to sign up for the census. There is no problem with the privacy of that information, whether you're undocumented, a citizen, whether you're young or you're old. Please, the census takers are trying their very, very best, and of course, because it's become harder to go door to door and do things the way we used to, it's been harder to get those numbers. Those numbers mean that Illinois, or wherever the count is low, will get less of federal dollars over the next 10 years, because that's the census, once every 10 years. So please do it. And let me also just say it's 84 days since the Russian bounty story, Russians paying a bounty, we've been told from our intelligence community, paying a bounty to Taliban to kill Americans. Now, we also know that these American soldiers that are in Afghanistan. We also know that Russia, without a doubt, is interfering and trying to interfere more and more in our elections. But you would think that after 84 days that the President of the United States would somehow condemn Russia for actually paying money to murder American soldiers. And so here we are, troubling times that we live in. I mean, the pandemic itself is a problem. Let me just tell you a little bit about what's going on with the pandemic. We have had in Illinois, the state death toll now is 8,367 people are dead. Now, this is a state that has done a pretty good job. We have held pretty steady. I'd like to see us really going down more. But, it's hard without national leadership, without a national supply chain to make sure that we get everything we need in Illinois. I think our governor, I think our mayors have been doing the best job that they could without any kind of a national plan and without national leadership. So stay safe, wear a mask, wash your hands, distance, don't go in large groups. Be well, stay safe, and for the Jewish community, let me wish you a very happy and a healthy New Year. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.